Hey, baby. Hey, baby. How you feeling? I feel good. Well, you said you're gonna do this with me. I did. You ready? Yeah, I'm ready.
The following program is rated TVMA. Viewer discretion is advised. TVMA. Viewer discretion is...
Somebody gotta say this shit, so this a bitch. Fuck your government. I'm hesitant to holler out that I'm in. I represent hollow points and Mac 10s. But don't think two shots coming out of them. Last thing that you see is Nat Turner's grin. I'm a savage, not the average white boy, my friend. We ain't shoot. Fuck red, white, and blue. Earth they nerve like militias in the booth. Spit that word like the wisdom nigga too. Get that herb like I need a blunt or two. Fuck y'all all, each and every one of you. You niggas wanna face me? Fuck you motherfuckers too. All you niggas ain't loyal. Fuck the government soil. Bring heat to the planet to this motherfucker boil. There's no more talk. Through the grave y'all walk. I talk for the slave from the grave. It's war.
This is a live recording. We are live. How you feeling, baby?
I feel good. How do you feel?
I feel good. I'm ready to do this.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. This is Somebody Gotta Say This Shit. This is a SGSTS live stream. We're trying to work out the kinks and make sure everything's running well. This is the first time that I have a in-house guest. And the reason I have an in-house guest is because my baby lives with me. We live together.
Just happens to work.
Yeah, it just so happens to work. Baby, if you could just bring the mic a little bit closer to your mouth. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a SGSTS live heart to heart conversations edition.
Yay, we haven't done it in a minute.
We haven't done it in a while. Heart to heart conversations is an idea that I created where me and my woman will basically post our conversations about whatever topic that comes up. They're pre-recorded. This is the first time we're doing a heart-to-heart conversations live. How you feel about that, baby?
I feel good. It's different though. You know?
Yeah, it is different. So, like I said, we're both learning, right?
Yeah, we are.
And I'm learning on the fly, trying to figure out this equipment. You know, I would never ask for donations for things that I could pay for myself. So this equipment has to go to use, and that's why I'm doing this right now. I am Irk the Nerve, aka Mr. Somebody. Everybody, somebody got to say this shit, and I am here with my baby, the real Mrs. Somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Say, babe.
Hey.
Hey. Don't be shy, baby. You're okay. You're okay. You're in a safe place. So, this heart-to-heart conversation is about someone that I consider a national treasure. I think he should have a bronze statue made in Washington, D.C. I think this man is, he's either absolutely fucking crazy or he's a genius.
Very intelligent. One of the two.
One of the two. But this show is titled, as you see with the animated thumbnail, Stop Playing With Me. Oh, my mama. Stop playing with me. The Amazing Mind of 607 Unc. And if you don't know who 607 Unc is, boy, you are missing out on some good entertainment. This man is hilarious to me.
Yeah, he's funny.
I recently showed my woman a few of his videos, and I got the idea to do a show about him because I see some things that are very interesting about this man. This man is wild. Wild as fuck. And there's so many examples of how wild this man is all over YouTube, Instagram, etc. But this man has so many videos. Right now, he's on a podcast tour. He's basically going from podcast to podcast, just expressing his thoughts, sharing his point of view, sharing stories about his own life, and just giving the world a plethora of content. This man is wild as fuck, but I think he's absolutely hilarious. He needs to be protected. Again, he is a national treasure in my eyes. And we're going to do a show about this man. Again, go on YouTube and just scroll, put in 607 Unc and just scroll through and see all the content that this man has. From No Jumper to Capone News. He's everywhere, man. He's literally everywhere. And I think if you take the time out to go check this man out, you would thoroughly enjoy and be entertained.
Absolutely entertaining.
By this man. So I want to show you a couple of things that this man has said, some things that this man has done, and me and my baby, we're going to have a conversation about it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I want to start by saying 607 Unc was born Demetrius Flannery. From my Google search, he was born in Nevada. Now I've seen many different things that says that he was born in Texas, he lived in Texas. There's no true evidence of that. Like I said, my Google search has shown me that he is born in Nevada, raised in St. Louis. And this man, he reps St. Louis. He reps St. Louis very hard. Again, if I'm wrong about where this man is from, please let us know. You could always email me at somebodygotta-say-this-shit@gmail.com, whatever. But we want to know exactly where he's from. I'm going with Google.
Yeah.
Because it's just a safe route.
Always.
Now, he's born, again, in Nevada, raised in St. Louis. I do know that he has been to jail or prison in Texas, but there's no actual proof that he actually lived there. Now, this man's life is very interesting to me because he started off as a rapper, and he was a pretty good rapper, if you ask me. Very lyrical, very thoughtful in his lyrics, as you can see in his.
The illest rapper spitting, trying to take me off my pivot like shooting from a distance. Ball, pistons, y'all, bitches, or is it flow? Christmas, wrap a nigga up like blow, ship him. I be off the fire weed, eyes like Chinese, work like ivory. I see dead people running from the fair people. Better look ahead, people.
Cypher.
Same cipher. Same cipher. Better look ahead, people.
Cypher.
Same cipher. Same cipher.
Yeah, again, I don't know what happened between that and who he is now. But what I do know is this man is wild. So he says he's from St. Louis, so I'm going to allow him to
For people who don't
let
know,
him.
grew up at.
St. Louis. I'm from Backdoor City, right? So what Kwame Tools come from too? It's like Backdoor, right?
Everybody is backdoor. And every car in St. Louis is stolen, if you didn't know. It's high speed city. That's what I'm on. I'm from that.
And what was it like for you growing up there?
It was tough. I mean, it was cool. I mean, before I started smoking, it was good. But when I started smoking, it got kind of like hectic. But when I quit smoking, I went up. I mean, everybody from the hood got a story, right? Everybody used to do something. At least I ain't do fentanyl, right? That bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you compare it to fentanyl.
Yeah. Ain't the back like I needed it, but no, it ain't funny, gang. I guarantee, like he don't know. He young. Back in the days, everybody did. It was the thing to do. We passed around like they passed around blunts. Everybody did. And it ain't really get bad. They put them as baking soda in it, right? Then yeah, when they put baking soda in it, you got the fiend in it. But when it was straight, just like it was good.
Okay. Besides, the drugs and everything, what else was going on, man? Like what kind of student were you in high school?
Come on, gang. High school. I can't remember that long. That's too long ago. I can't remember. But I know I went to school with Nelly.
You went to school with Nelly?
So I got my mama. Went to U City. I can't remember. But I know I went to school with Nelly.
You went to school with Nelly?
So I got my mama. Went to U City.
Yes, that is our national treasure, 607 Unc. And he says that, he comes from St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And, from his words, his own words, he says,
crack didn't get it bad until they started putting baking soda in it.
Now, you ain't got to be a laboratory scientist to know that the reason why they call it crack is because it has baking soda in it. I just, without that main ingredient, it's just cocaine. It's just cocaine. Without the baking soda, it's just cocaine. But let him tell it, it didn't get bad.
Until the baking soda.
Until
the baking soda is what did it, man.
So, he, like I said, he's very interested in his views of everything, of his city, of crack, and other things, Again, he loves to make sure everyone knows where he's from.
We used to smoke crack with it. Now we get stacks with it.
Stop saying we as a whole. I got a question actually about the crack.
Everybody say Louis used to smoke crack.
So, what did it make you do though?
It made you smoke more crack. I mean, that's one thing about crack. You take one hit, you need another one.
Like, no, I'm saying like you didn't have any crack munchies or anything?
I mean, you can't eat off crack. You can't eat, you can't fuck. Because crack make your dick soft and make your brain fast. It make it kind of sound like that. Shut up! That's what I got, mama. Yeah.
You summoning animals now?
No, it's DW thing.
Oh, okay.
That's his name. Everybody know I named him after DW thing from LA.
Who?
DW thing. I mean, yeah, DW Flame. Named him after DW thing from LA.
Who?
DW thing. I mean, yeah, DW Flame.
Flame.
Again, a lot of talk about crack with this man. And I'm just going to go ahead and go on a limb and say that is his life experience.
Absolutely. That's definitely his life experience.
From what I understand, now I was very, very young when this happened. I was taking me and my neighborhood and a couple of my cousins. We took a trip to Missouri for a camp. It was actually a Christian camp. Very young at the time. And we drove through St. Louis to get to our destination. And I noticed that there was one side of St. Louis and there was another side of St. Louis. There's St. Louis and then there's East St. Louis, separated by the Mississippi River. And St. Louis is more wealthy. St. Louis is more wealthy, and East St. Louis, not so much. So, from what I remember of East St. Louis, just by a quick drive by, it looked like a rough place to be. It looked like a rough place to live. And he makes it very clear that
It indeed was.
Huh?
That it sorry about that. That it indeed was.
Yeah, he points out that he lived in a rough area of his city. Now, I looked up what 607 meant.
What did it mean?
It's not an area code, surprisingly. Well, it's an area code in New York. Ithaca, I believe it's called Ithaca. But it's also a neighborhood in East St. Louis.
Really? I didn't know that.
Known as Hillside. Any of my future St. Louis listeners, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But from what I know and from what I understand, that 607 represents his hood in St. Louis, East St. Louis. Now, this man is just wild as fuck with how he sees the world. And I'm going to show you a couple of things.
Where you from?
I'm from St. Louis. I'm from 607 Hillside, right? It's in Pond Line. They kill a lot of people out there. I'm from Backdoor City, right? Back in the days, everybody used to smoke crack, but they stopped doing crack. Now everybody do fentanyl, right? It's like high-speed juice. It's NyQuil, Sprite, and the blue Percocets, but it got to be the kind with the fentanyl in it. It can't be the regular 10s or the 5s. It got to be the blue with the fentanyl. And everybody in St. Louis, they do that. And they steal your car and kill you. Kind of like Chicago, but a little different.
Yeah, I've heard them refer to St. Louis as the backdoor city.
Yeah, backdoor. We kind of like invented that. And like Dirk ran off with it. So I kind of came to Chicago to reclaim it. But instead of reclaiming it, I just kind of like, we click now. Chicago and St. Louis click on GD. I kind of like did that. But instead of
this is Unc and how he sees the world. Again, just plenty of jewels coming from this man. We haven't even got to the best part of it yet, baby. But so far, what do you think of 607 Unc?
I think that some of the things that he says makes a lot of sense. And then some of the other things, it has me questioning myself, like, is he seeing something I don't see, or what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I think. What do you think?
I think we should protect him. I think
He's
again,
a national treasure.
I think he's a national treasure. I think he feeds America's fascination for crazy.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah, he feeds America's fascination with crazy.
Because we all love crazy, like at least a little bit. You know, it's very entertaining.
Elaborate.
Okay. So crazier people, you know, they're just very interesting because it makes you like second guess yourself. Like, how are they seeing this? You know what I mean?
So you're saying that because of their crazy, induced by whatever means,
Right.
they see a perspective that we don't see as so-called normal human beings.
Yes. Well, I think everybody sees everything differently, but some
Yeah,
people
yeah,
have like
I agree.
different levels of crazy, you know? And that level determines like how they think. And I think that's interesting and funny.
I would agree. I would agree. And again, please bear with us with the sound of everything. I'm still learning how to use this shit, and the only way to learn is to actually
do it.
Yes. And see, that's what I love about my woman, because she is very supportive in the things that I aspire to do. She's here with me now. She knows what I am willing to go through in order to make this happen, and she's fine with that. So I like to say I love you, baby.
I love you too.
And I appreciate you. Again, this is our first heart-to-heart conversations live. The conversation is being led by the actions and words of 607 Unk. And I just have plenty of videos that I want to show you. This is a video of him. Hold on. That's not it. So this is a video of him explaining that he died. Not once, not 2 times, not 3.
What was the first time? I mean, a lot of stuff you don't remember. Right. I just remember that when you die, I could just tell everybody, don't go towards the light.
So there is a light.
Yeah, but it can bring you back here.
Oh.
So if you see like your mom or your cousin, all that get you back here. So you gotta go to the dark, because the dark really the light. I'm keeping it real. The dark really the light, because science has just found out that there's more dark in the light.
Well, going to the light is, ain't that like?
Yeah, like heaven.
You can't go to the light. The light bring you back here. This hell. Hold on, the devil made this. Unless
like
yeah, like heaven.
you can't go to the light. The light bring you back here. This hell. Hold on, the devil made this. Unless
What do you think about that clip, baby?
I feel like some of that made sense. I really do. Some of that made sense. But yeah, they do say that the light goes to heaven. But I can also see what he's saying. Here is hell. So you're going to come back here.
Well, being that I'm a rationalist, and I don't have a deity. I don't pray or worship any deity. I feel like this man is reaching from different streams of thought. And I don't know if he got it from his earlier experiences in life, where he was maybe in a conversation with someone that may have said such a thing, or if he had actually read it, because there are streams of thought that have the understanding that we are resurrected, like we come back. Some,
in some way.
Yeah, in Hindu cultures, in Hindu religion, excuse me, they believe that you can come back as an animal. You can come back into a human form, or you can, depending on your
beliefs,
your past experiences in this life before you passed, and also your energy. So you can come back as a fly. You can come back as a elephant. You can come back as a tiger. You can come back as a human being. This is trains of thoughts from what I understand, in Hinduism. And there's other trains of thoughts out there that say that you don't want to walk into the light, you know, as far as they say, okay, you have a near death experience and you see the light at the end of the tunnel.
They tell you not to walk towards the
Well,
light.
there's people that say, "Oh, walk towards the light because that light is quote unquote God," you know. And then there's other people out there that say, "Don't walk towards that light because it only brings you back here
to where you were." Yeah.
Yeah. Now, being that newborns, don't open their eyes in the womb, is that true? Do we know?
I don't know.
Okay. Could the light at the end of the tunnel be the baby
coming out into the world? That's a possibility.
and seeing the light through the fallopian tube? You know what I'm saying? Through the tubes, through the
birth process.
Yeah, the birth process. You know what I'm saying? The vaginal canal of its mother. And at the end of the light, that's nothing but hospital lights and labor room lights. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? That's just like I said. It's a stream of thought.
Right. It is definitely.
No one knows what's right. No one knows what's wrong. And that's my point. This goes to my point about crazy motherfuckers. Like crazy motherfuckers can say some real shit, like you just said.
Absolutely, they can.
Like okay. So I don't want to put too much gas on this word normal.
Yeah, because nobody's really normal. I don't think anybody's really normal. I think we all have different levels to our craziness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's an abstraction. I think normacy is abstract. What one's normal
might be,
might not be the next person's normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, and like I said, I think it comes with life experiences. I think that comes with life experiences. People have many different life experiences. And I wouldn't call one person normal than another person. You know what I'm saying? It's like judging who's normal. You know what I'm saying? And
you can't really do that neither because everybody's been through different things in life, like you said.
Yeah.
And yeah, that really does determine a lot. Like I could have been through this, and this, so I look at the world like this because this is what life gave me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You could have a completely different outlook because life gave you something different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, life and your life experiences give you the worldview that you presently have. Mm-hmm. Because of your experiences. Yeah. And not saying that it's right or wrong, good or bad. It's just it is what it is.
Absolutely, it is what it is.
Have you ever met a crazy motherfucker and thought, this motherfucker makes some sense now? You know what I'm saying? Like, this motherfucker making some sense.
Mm-hmm. I have.
Speak on it.
I would rather not.
You would rather not? You incriminating people? You incriminating people if you do? So I would say, I would say the same. I would say, yeah, I have met seemingly crazy people, or let me speak in particular. One crazy person that I've met, visually, you would see this motherfucker's crazy. But then when that motherfucker speaks, they'll say some profound shit that feels like the truth. Like this motherfucker, like that.
Has you second guessing
Like,
yourself? Like, hey,
that,
how'd they come
that
up with
motherfucker might be on to something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when it comes to 607 Unk, I think he has like real talk moments. I think everyone does. I think everyone has real talk moments, some more than others, okay? Um, but I also think that real talk comes from your life experience.
It does.
You know? Um, I don't know if I'm willing to go completely out on the limb and say that this motherfucker's crazy. Maybe
He just looks at the world different.
maybe the access to drugs that he experienced in his past open up doors for him.
To different, yeah.
Okay, so as I was doing this, I looked up a term called drug-induced retardation. And
what was the definition of it?
It has a lot to do with like Parkinson's, things that, yeah.
Really?
But they were talking about like doctor prescribed drugs. That's what they were speaking on in that definition. Doctor prescribed drugs that will induce a certain form of retardation, right? So it doesn't explain anything about street level. So I don't know if I could even use
that information to
that term to even try to identify the thought process that comes with UNC 607 UNC. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I could use that term to accurately understand him, you know?
Yeah.
But and there is no such thing as street drug induced retardation. If there is, please somebody help me out with the terminology that comes with that, because I couldn't find it. It was all doctor prescribed drugs. It said nothing about street drugs. So I don't even know if there's. You can go ahead.
Okay, I'm about
I don't even know if there's a research on that. You know, but I do think 607 UNC should be studied. And there's a reason for that, because this man may be seeing spectrums that we can't see. You want to read?
Hold on one second.
Okay. So this I think the man may be onto something. See, I'm not really willing to say that he's clout chasing. He's smart enough to monetize his character. So if you want to apply that to crazy, go ahead. But what I'm saying is he's having meet and greets. He's showing up on different podcasts and is surely getting paid for it. You know, he's getting paid for his intellectual property. On my mama. Well, on my mama's not even his intellectual property, but he popularized it so much that he could actually monetize it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Which is genius. That's is that crazy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a level of genius that has to be recognized. He says, "Stop playing with me." That's his words. Stop playing with me. And
then it's usually followed by "on my mama."
on my mama.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he's able to monetize these phrases. So I'm not willing to say this man is completely crazy. I will have to come to a conclusion on the fact that I think this man has done a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
You know, you ever heard of wet? You ain't never heard of wet or dip?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's a dipped cigarette or a dipped marijuana stick, a blunt, you know, and it's dipped in embalming fluid or LSD, which I'm gonna bring up later because I have a point to make, and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So he says he admits that he used to smoke wet. You know what I'm saying? He used to smoke along with crack. He used to smoke wet. Now, anyone that I know from the various hoods that I have lived in Kentucky, in fact, welcome to Kentucky, everyone. I should have did that earlier, but say hi from Kentucky.
Hi from Kentucky.
But being that this man has experienced different reactions to these street drugs over time, I think it does something. It's a fact. It does something to your mind.
Yeah, it says long-term use can also lead to lasting cognitive decline. So, cognitive.
Yeah, cognition. So
No, it says cognitive.
yeah, same thing.
Okay.
So I would say I'm leaning 50 crazy, 50 not crazy. So it's 50-50 with me. I'm leaning 50 crazy, 50 not crazy. Because again, he's smart enough to monetize his character, whom he is, and everything that comes with that. He's monetizing that. Meet and greets, podcast, and he's getting paid for each thing that he does.
Right.
So
that's smart in itself.
Yeah, it's absolutely smart. So I don't. Or is it handlers?
Somebody doing it for him, like getting him together, like, hey, you need to do this, hey, you need to do that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm willing to say possibly he has handlers. Because so let's just say, go ahead.
So who's the people that's usually with him? Like, not on the shows that he's on, but there's usually the same people sitting with him, right?
That's interesting you say
people,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those people are allegedly signed to his record label. Those are his artists, allegedly. Look, I don't know. I'm still okay. So, and I'm gonna make a point about that later too, because it's something very interesting that there's a pattern that I'm seeing. There's a pattern here. So, like I said, Unc, he's very, very interesting as far as his outlook on things, and I want to show another video. Again, you seen the video of him saying that he died 5 times.
You really not really gay. Only time you really gay if they catch you doing. That's all I got, mama. Cause like if they catch me after I do it, I'm not gay no more. You got to catch me in the act to be gay. That's all, you got to catch me in the act. Cause like after that, I'm not gay. I changed. Really not really gay. Only time you really gay if they catch you doing. That's all I got, mama. Cause like if they catch me after I do it, I'm not gay no more. You got to catch me in the act to be gay. What's wrong? You gotta catch me out, cause like after that, I'm not gay. I changed.
So yeah, that was 607 giving his thoughts on homosexuality. Now that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That didn't make any sense at all.
Not at all. Not at all. Now, how much of that is psychosis and how much of that is character? See, he's selling. He's definitely selling himself. And I'm sorry, baby, so loud. He's definitely selling himself and selling his thoughts. But there's an amount of comedy, and I think he may know this.
That comes with what he says.
That comes with what he says. Because anyone that listens to that is gonna be like, that motherfucker's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So
if somebody ever said that to me, like in real life, I'd be like, "What are you talking about?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you're not gay if you don't get caught.
Yeah. Unless you get caught, and if you get caught, you're gay.
See, and that's my issue with his way of thinking, because I'm not sure
whether it's seen or not seen, it still is the truth.
Yes, whether it's seen or unseen, if you do for a man, now I would say the same thing for a woman, but definitely for a man, being that I am a man. If once that is taken away, once that is done to you, and that part of manhood is taken away from you, there's no coming back. There's no coming back from that. If a man sucks a dick, this is an adult show, right?
Yeah.
This is an adult show. Okay. No kids should be in my lives. So no kids should be listening to this. If a man sucks a dick, you can't unsuck that dick.
Never.
Never. You know what I'm saying? So it's a done deal. You are there. You know what I'm saying? And even if you never ever did it again, you still did it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. And I'm sure there's a multitude of men out there that feel the exact same way. You know, and I would say women feel the same way. There's a multitude of women. I won't say all women, but I would say that there's a multitude of women that feel that same way. Now, you know me. We married. In your past, when you were dating, if you ever found out that someone you were dating was a homosexual, would you stop dating them?
I wouldn't want to date them if they were, you know what I'm saying? Because how can you be pleased by a woman if you're, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would just be a sad situation for both parties, I feel like. So what would be the point in staying in that?
Yeah, okay. I kind of agree with, I agree with that, you know. I agree with that. The part about sad for both parties.
Because neither one of you would be pleased. One of you wants a man, the other one wants a man too.
Oh,
you
okay.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. So he says a lot of these things. He says a lot. Now, he plays with the thought of homosexuality in a lot of his interviews that I've listened to. I listened to a few, and I listened to two of them while I was working today. And he makes what seems like homosexual jokes.
Show me what you're talking about.
Like,
besides the one we just watched.
I don't know if I have anything loaded up.
Okay, never mind.
But I'll show you after the show.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is,
that's what he goes to.
I don't know how much of that is that's attributed to his crazy. Okay, so everybody is calling 607 Unc crazy online. People say that man's crazy. But how much? Like, how crazy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if it's really crazy or just character.
That's just how he is. That's just part of maybe who he is as a person, and that's fine. He can be however he wants to be.
Yeah, and I can't even say that. Okay, so first of all, you've never seen him. You've never seen him in a homosexual act, right?
No.
You've never seen him in a homosexual act. So, with that being said, he's only expressing thoughts that he has about the act.
Yeah.
Yeah, and until you see him in a homosexual act, you can't even take what he says serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To heart. If he felt that way and he's actually doing homosexual acts, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do homosexual acts, and okay, so you're a male humanoid, you're doing homosexual acts, and then you come to a podcast and have a thought process like that. Like, you're not gay.
It's not gay if you don't catch me.
Yeah.
You got to see it yeah.
That would be crazy. To me, that would be crazy. Like, you crazy. Is having that thought crazy?
By itself? I think you would need more background to know the situation.
Because if a comedian stands up on a stage and says the same thing, it's a joke that he written for laughs, right? That would be just a joke written for laughs. It wouldn't be his actual life.
His character, he could be married. He could come out with a wedding ring on his head, and he's not like that. But he's just trying to be funny. Yeah.
So, and that's why I'm saying
you just don't know.
You just don't know if he's crazy or not. How much of this is character and how much of this is crazy? Either way is fucking genius to me. To me, I think he's one of the most entertaining motherfuckers on YouTube, on social media, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. He's one of the most interesting, entertaining motherfuckers doing their thing right now, because the proof is in the pudding. All the fucking shows that he's on, all the podcasts, people are begging and paying him to come on their show because they know that he's going to give you a viral fucking soundbite.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to give you a viral soundbite
because you don't know what he's going to say, and that's kind of exciting. Like, most people stay a certain way, like in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
He's not ashamed of who he is in any type of way. He's just out there, So people like that.
Would it be more genuine? Would it be more genuine if he was crazy?
Yeah, if that was his true character, if that's truly how he is as a person, yeah, that would be absolutely genuine.
Because again, I'm not.
You're not all the way sold that it's genuine.
Yeah, no. I'm not all the way sold that he's crazy. I'm not all the way sold that he's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like there's a part of you that's like, yeah, what you're saying.
Yeah, there's a part of me that thinks like, this motherfucker knows exactly what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I get what you're saying.
I think he knows absolutely what he's doing, and I think he's cognition. I think he is absolutely cognitive and aware of his words and actions. I don't have enough evidence to know that this man's crazy.
Without meeting him and talking to him, there's no way you would. You know what I'm saying? Or unless you grew up with him or whatever, you hang out with him every day,
Could we say that about all crazy people though?
Yeah.
We judge a book by its cover.
A lot of times, yes.
Immediately. Like when we say that man's crazy is because of something that we are seeing
him do. Yeah.
him or her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're absolutely right. So how are we to judge and be correct in our judgment just by using sight?
You can't. It's impossible. It's impossible to just judge somebody. I can meet somebody off the street that seems like the biggest bitch ever.
Mm-hmm.
Walk up to her, and she'd be like one of the nicest people I've ever talked to in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you just can't judge people just based off of what they look like or what they're doing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people could be having a bad day. They're acting a little bit crazy. Sometimes I'm mad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just can't
Yeah.
know. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what they're going through that day.
I'm guilty of it though. I'm guilty of driving by a motherfucker and I see a motherfucker talking to themselves.
Oh, I'm not saying I haven't done it.
Yeah.
I'm not at all acting like I'm perfect over here.
Yeah. But I'm guilty of it though. I am very guilty of seeing a motherfucker talk to themselves and thinking immediately, snap judgment, that motherfucker's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that in itself could be absolutely wrong. Because what if the motherfucker, I'm just driving by this motherfucker, I see him talking to himself, and I snap judgment that motherfucker's crazy. But what if he had an earpiece in his ear and he wasn't actually talking to himself? He was talking to someone on a phone using the earpiece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's absolutely a possibility.
You know, so
we judge people as humans. We do. It's sad, but it's true. We don't mean to. It's just like human instinct. That's what we do, you know?
Tell us where you from.
I'm from St. Louis. I'm from 607 Hillside, right?
This man that says, I'm about to show you some things real quick.
No, we at war now. The blood moon came. We at war now. Who? The blood moon. The blood moon. So you get. Yeah, I get ready now. We're spiritual war now. It's official now. Now it's official. That's official. We at war. The blood moon. Everything lined up. Now it's time for war. What we looking at? This war now.
That's my lighter.
Yeah. Well, war time, gang. It's time for war. Because everything lined up. Everybody don't know this, right? When the blood moon come, it's time like everything aligned.
Do the demons come through the blood?
No, you get to pick your side then.
What side you on?
I don't lie, I don't cheat, I don't steal, but I keep. I'm the same off camera and on. But I'm more crazy off. Because like, I don't know.
So if you at war,
I'm at war. That's how I'm
at war with?
Myself. That's what a lot of people don't know. See, the war is within yourself. Remember I told you
you got excited because you're at war with yourself.
Yeah, I get to win this time. Cause like, you know how it be when you like think you finna win and then all of a sudden it just up. But when the red moon come, you can't no more. You get fully possessed. So
you got excited because you're at war with yourself.
Yeah, I get to win this time. Cause like, you know how it be when you like think you finna win and then all of a sudden it just up. But when the red moon come, you can't no more. You get fully possessed. So
And see, see, that goes back to my point. It goes back to both of our points about saying real shit. He said, so who are you at war with? He said, myself. The war is within myself. And when you hear that, for me at least, when I hear that, I'm like, that's some profound,
legitimate stuff.
Yeah, that's some profound thinking. What it is, Christ. That's my only Christ, the shiesty one. Salute to you, God. But man, I feel like you know what I'm saying. I don't know, like, because I feel like a lot of the things that he says comes from streams of thought that he's been through in his past experiences, and now it's seeping out now. Now, if it's seeping out with the drugs, like the excessive drug use, and it's now seeping out, it's still kind of true, right? You know what I'm saying? Regardless if it's excessive drug use. Now the blood moon shit, okay, it's like he's mixing crazy.
Or maybe he was into that kind of stuff. Like maybe there was a time in his life that he was into like the moon and like the statuses of the moon or whatever. Maybe I don't know.
Well, okay, so first of all,
phases, my bad.
listening to the type of 607 was a lyricist, a rapper. He put words together. Those that put words together and are good at it are readers. Those that put words together in poetic form, in lyrical form, they seek knowledge.
They're very intelligent.
Because it makes their lyricism all the more greater. You know what I'm saying? They purposely do this. And his style, if you look at his past style of rapping, he absolutely was a reader. He absolutely picked up thesauruses and dictionaries and wanted to know big words and wanted to know processes of certain things. You know what I'm saying? He definitely wanted to do that. Now it's coming out like this. How much of that shit is crazy? Because I'm not willing to go out on a limb and say all of that. He's talking crazy shit. I don't know.
Because it doesn't make sense.
He says blood moon. Okay, so are we gonna really act like the phases of the moon don't affect who we are down here on this planet?
They absolutely do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we can't act like he's saying something just completely off the wall. You know what I'm saying?
That's out there that just don't go with nothing. Yeah.
War with self. War with yourself.
Everybody has that.
Everybody on the planet is either at war with themselves or losing or winning. But you're definitely in a battle with yourself. You battle with the thoughts of how you're gonna pay bills. You battle with the thought of how you're gonna deal with your coworkers. You battle with yourself on how you're gonna deal with your own emotions, your own feelings on certain things. You know what I'm saying? You battle with the thoughts of how you're gonna deal with your family. You know what I'm saying?
Lost or whatever you have going on in your mind.
Yeah, loss. You know what I'm saying? You battle with the fear of loss or the actual loss itself. You know what I'm saying? You battle with those things. Everyone does.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like how much, like, you can't say this man's completely crazy.
No, he's definitely not completely crazy.
You can't say that. You know what I'm saying?
He makes too much sense in some of the things he says to be just like, whoa, he's crazy. No.
Yeah, and the thing is, so what does crazy start and what does it end and what does it begin? You know what I'm saying? What does crazy end and what does crazy begin?
And that goes back to what you said. I think we all have a different perspective of what is crazy. Like what you might think is crazy. I might be like, that's normal shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We just have a different perspective of it.
Like my father-in-law, your father, would call motherfuckers constantly paying taxes and not questioning their government.
Not questioning, why are we paying this money?
Yeah.
He would think you're crazy as hell if you're not thinking about that.
Yeah. But there's a whole swaths of motherfuckers out there that think if you don't pay taxes, you a crazy motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And there may be layers and layers and layers upon reasoning for that, but that's the two different spectrums of what we see as crazy. You know what I'm saying? As an idea. You know what I'm saying? What we see as crazy as an idea. I'm not willing to go out on a limb and say it's crazy. Go ahead.
So you would think then that it's more like your worldview, like how you view things and people and the world in general would determine what things are crazy to you, right?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
So there's 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 so much more that this man has said, and I think I got about 2 or 3 more videos that I want to show you, and then we're going to conclude this live stream. Baby, again, I'm so glad that you decided to do this with me. Greatly appreciate you.
Anytime. I support you.
I know you do. So right now, I am going to show you a video. The craziest one I've seen so far of Unc speaking. And when I say crazy, I mean loosely. I say that loosely. Because there's a point that I'm going to get to that I really want y'all to think about. Unc says he's a part of the Illuminati, or was a part of the Illuminati. He says that he was able to escape the Illuminati.
Yeah, I was connected.
And
I was
he
connected
escaped
with everybody that's doing it. I don't really want to speak on that because like he probably get a little nervous. I'm gonna talk about the people. But I was connected. Yeah, keep dropping my money. I get nervous when I talk about it because my life be on the line. But I don't be giving. I was connected with the Illuminati.
Oh my
The Illuminati.
Yes, I swear to God, my mama.
So the Illuminati is real.
Yes, it's real.
What you mean you used to be connected? I don't think you could leave the Illuminati.
Listen, I'm the first person to leave. I made the ultimate sacrifice. And I got out the Illuminati. So I'm the first person that can speak about it. Yeah, I sacrificed my son.
Your son?
Yeah, I swear to God, my mama. See, looking at me, he can't speak on that. He laughing, but he really know what's going on. See, if he don't want to speak on that. I'm keeping it real. So that's how I got out. So I'm half Illuminati and half street. Yeah.
Wait.
Swear to God, I'm half Illuminati and half street. Dead ass here. No,
Sean, you knew about this?
Well, what the fuck y'all talking about?
See, he can't talk about it. See, I'm half, so I can talk about it. He got 29 times platinum. 29 times. And he be in St. Louis, walk around like it ain't nothing. And I don't never talk to him. I don't be knowing where he be at. Like, we was coming here, all of a sudden he just popped up. So I got my mom, like, what the fuck, and he just here. So you don't never know too much about that. So we don't want to speak on that. We can't speak on that too much. See, I'm half, so I can talk about it. He got 29 times platinum. 29 times. And he be in St. Louis, walk around like it ain't nothing. And I don't never talk to him. I don't be knowing where he be at. Like, we was coming here, all of a sudden he just popped up. So I got my mom, like, what the fuck, and he just here. So you don't never know too much about that. So we don't want to speak on that. We can't speak on that too much.
So again, check. So again, how much of that is crazy and how much of that is character?
Me. Okay, there we go. Sorry. To me, that's character. I don't know. Because if anybody told me that, me personally, I'm not going to be like, yeah, that's true right there. He said he's the first person to ever get out of the first person.
The very first person.
The very first. That's the part that had me like, you know what I mean?
I'm the first person to escape the Illuminati.
Ever.
Okay. So, look, man. I have to ask, how much of this is character and how much of this is crazy? Go ahead.
Didn't he say that he sacrificed his only son? Is that what he said?
He said his only son.
Okay, is that true? Is there any truth to anything happening to any of his kids?
Okay, so
you don't know.
I have not researched it. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong because I did not research that part. Maybe I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because I attribute that to crazy. You know what I'm saying? I attribute that to crazy. Like that speech is crazy. But
that crazy could be part of his character.
Okay, but my thing is this. Something very well could have happened to his child. You know, his son. I don't know if it's true, because I just put it in the crazy
You
department.
just left it over there.
I just put it right there in the crazy
Folder.
cabinet in the folder
Closed it.
and shoved it away like this motherfucker's on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But something could have very well happened to him, right?
Mm-hmm. So
Illuminati? Fuck no. Illuminati? Fuck no. The Bavarian Illuminati was founded in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt. And from what we understand, it had 100-year run. And here in our modern time, people accredit a lot of happenings, especially worldwide, world events that affect us all. They attribute to the Illuminati. Okay, I have to admit something. There are a few things that I do attribute to the so-called Illuminati. Modern things that have happened during our lifetime that I consider clandestine works by elite secret societies. But I can put names to these: the Council of Foreign Relations, the International Monetary Fund, the Vatican, things like that. You know what I'm saying? There are certain things that I could attribute to elite secret societies.
I get what you're saying.
You know, could we say it is the Illuminati? I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy factualist. Like the conspiracies that are absolutely fact. You can research it, see that it's true, and who did it and why. You know what I'm saying? So I deal with conspiracies that can be proven to be fact.
On paper.
Documented. I don't deal with theories. I deal with conspiracy facts. So with that being said, I don't have enough information to say that the Illuminati is fucking around with niggas in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying?
Only him go first.
And let him escape. The first one to ever escape the Illuminati that was born, created in 1776. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the first one to ever escape. You know what I'm saying? Again, something may have happened to his child, but he gives that to the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready to do the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened? You know what I'm saying?
You're wanting to know the story behind the story.
Yeah, because
like, where is this coming from?
Yeah, and like, is the psychosis making him say that, or is it the character? Because look at the platform that he's saying these things on. He's on a hip hop based podcast. You know, hip hop is known for being the what is the word, a fringe art form, underground.
Mm-hmm.
Fight the power. You know, is above the law. You know what I'm saying? You're doing things because you're oppressed. You're saying these things because you're saying fuck the system. You know what I'm saying? And what bigger fucking enemy to have than the Illuminati? You know what I'm saying? You got like the Illuminati, police, and then everything underneath that. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm basically saying is Illuminati is not a unknown thing to the hip hop heads. You say Illuminati to most hip hop heads,
I know
everybody knows
exactly what you're talking about.
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he knows the forum. He knows where he's at, and he knows what reaction he would get
By saying that in general.
by saying
Yeah.
such things. You know what I'm saying? So he knows the reaction he would get, and to me, that says that that's more intelligence than crazy. You know what I'm saying, baby? Like that's more of a like he's
Thinking smarter.
oh yeah, he's really selling the content when he says certain things.
Mhm.
Because again, that statement that he made went viral. He went viral for making such a statement. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said,
That's smart.
yeah, like how
Financially smart. You know?
yeah, how much is crazy and how much is character? Because okay, so we absolutely, like I said, I will say this: ain't no motherfucking Illuminati sacrifice your child. Something may very well happen to your child. Yes, Mister 607 Unk. Something may very well happen. Something may have happened to your child. Yes. Did the Illuminati sacrifice him for your fame? No. No, nigga, that did not happen. That no. It did not happen. And if it did, I'm gonna need all that proof.
All the documents.
I'm gonna need all that proof. I'm gonna need the motherfucking video that was hidden. I'm gonna need all that. You know what I'm saying? Because until then, man, that's just you're feeding into the character. But how much of that is wrong? Because okay, but hold on. Okay, okay, so there's a correlation. There's a correlation with this guy that I've noticed. Hold on, where's it at? All right, here it is. So I can't get this off. All right, baby. So you've heard me recently.
Music is my soul. Music's the way I express. It's my religion. Everything's a reflection of this. When you reflect that, you reflect music. I reflect it in music. That's me.
Charles Manson and 607 Unk have a few things in common. Oh, you got to hear me out. You got to hear me out. Listen to my theory. Okay, so check this out. Charles Manson moved to California because he wanted to pursue a musical career. He wanted to pursue a music career. 607 Unc started off as an MC, a rapper. 607 Unc has followers. Charles Manson had followers. Charles Manson was placed in prison. And did you know Charles Manson he's placed in prison? Died in prison, correct? Died in prison. If I'm not mistaken, if he's not dead, he's still in prison. But what I'm saying to you is Charles Manson was placed in prison for murder, and he never murdered anyone. Physically, he never murdered anyone himself. He was never convicted of a murder that he did. He was convicted of influencing others to commit murder, his followers. Charles Manson had followers who killed people. Go ahead, baby.
Okay, so it says Charles Manson died in November 2017 while serving 9 life sentences for the horrific murders he orchestrated in 1969.
Orchestrated. Listen to the wording. Orchestrated, like an orchestra. A conductor.
What is that? What they're called?
Yeah,
Okay.
of an orchestra.
The people that stand up there going,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
With the stick.
yeah.
Yeah, them motherfuckers.
Okay.
Okay. So his influence, his thought process convinced other people to commit crimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going back to my point. Charles Manson had followers that killed people. "607 Unc has followers that killed people." Two of his so-called artists allegedly killed their own cousin
Go ahead.
for fucking clout and for their music career. The what's the name? Check. 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 All right, so my system just shut down on me. Again, that goes with trying to learn all this shit. But quick to my point, um 607 Unc is popularized by social media in the hip hop, rap / so-called urban genre. I hate the word culture when it comes to a fucking genre of music, so I'm not going to use that word culture. But 607 Unc is popularized via social media for his words, his antics. Charles Manson was popularized by what we now call legacy media, the news back in the day, because there was no social media. He was popularized by ABC, NBC, and all the news, Tom Brokaw and all them old guys, if I'm saying his name right. They popularized him for an agenda, Charles Manson. Have you ever asked yourself why, if you go look at Charles Manson videos from the very beginning when he was incarcerated, why he never, ever, ever had on a jumpsuit, had on a jail suit whenever he was interviewed? Only until the later years you see him in actual state or federal government issued clothing. In his earlier interviews, when the U.S. government was trying to bastardize the hippie movement, they used Charles Manson as the face of the hippie movement. Promoted the promotion of LSD, which was CIA sponsored, distributed. People know this. This is not conspiracy theory. This is fact. There were CIA agents, scientists doing LSD experiments on people. This is a fact. They wanted to see the reaction of people on LSD. The promotion of LSD, the promotion, a bastardized promotion of the hippie and the hippie movement via Charles Manson. Charles Manson, in his earlier interviews, was incarcerated, but he never had a haircut. His hair was always long. Why was that? Why was Charles Manson always wearing loose fitting clothes, hippie style, going to court in elaborate fucking butterfly collar shirts You never ask yourself why? Because it was all a part of a plan that was designed by the news media of that day and the government. Now, with 607 Unc, the only difference is the people, not the government, the people are popularizing this man. The people are popularizing 607 Unc. And only for the agenda of laughs, entertainment, to kill time, basically. That's what I get from it. To me, 606 Unc is a very, very interesting character. He should be studied. He should be protected. He's a national fucking treasure. We have our own Charles Manson. We have our own Charles Manson, and I'm using that in jest very lightly. Don't put too much seriousness behind that. But yeah, how much is crazy and how much is character? And that's all I got for this show. That's all I got. Again, my system just shut down on me in the middle of my live stream. I'll have to figure all that out. And I will. I will. I had to jump on my phone real quick in order to get the rest of this done and conclude this live stream. A heart-to-heart conversation. Stop playing with me. The amazing mind of 607 Unc. I want to thank my beautiful, gorgeous, sexy wife, my Bae, for joining me as a co-host on this live. It was great talking to her. This is our first live heart-to-heart conversation. And hopefully, most likely, we will do a whole lot more. I greatly appreciate anyone that was listening, that was watching, and I really hope that this stream did all its service to make sure that you were entertained. It's been fun. It's been fun. I like this. I'm going to do it again. I'm definitely going to do it again with my wife. That shit was fun. Just looking at her face while she's talking down the mic. Yeah, that's fun. But I'm going to leave you with this. You know you've made it. You know you've absolutely made it when your sayings become songs. When the things you say become music. So I'm going to leave you with a saying that many people on Instagram and what's that called? TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, but many people are making 607 unks words into music. For example.
Yeah. Come on, gang.
So, man, I want to ask you where do you feel like your persona is, man? The message that you get across in totality.
Gang, what persona means? Stop playing on me. I don't know what them words mean. I'm the spirit. Gang, I don't know no persona. I'm the spirit, gang. What, the spirit don't know them English words? Stop playing with me. I'm the spirit. I'm the spirit, gang. I'm the spirit. It's a real spirit party. You cannot get in. Moses off the drink and Jesus off the gin. I swear to God, my mama.
Bro, I got you all the way. That's what
It's a real spirit party. You cannot get in. You cannot get in. You cannot get in. It's a real spirit party. You cannot get in. You cannot get in. You cannot get in. It's a real spirit party. You cannot get in. You cannot get in. You cannot get in. It's a real spirit party. You cannot get in. Moses off the drink and Jesus off the gin. My mama.
And that beat right there. Check. Check. I don't know what's going on with my sound. There we go. That beat right there can be found on Instagram. And it was made by Young Diesel Beats. There's a few beats made using Unk's words, but I thought that was the best one of the ones that I've heard. If you've heard better, send it to somebodygottosaythishit@gmail.com. I'll review it, I'll listen to it, and let you know what I think. With that being said, you should really be mindful of who and what you call crazy. Because what you call crazy could just be character for content. Somebody got to say this shit.
Somebody gotta say this shit, cause it's a bitch. Fuck your government. I'm hesitant to holler out that I'm in. I represent hollow points and Mac tears. But don't think them shots coming out of them. Last thing that you see is Nat Turner's grin. I'm a savage, not your average white boy, my friend. We ain't shooting. Fuck red, white, and blue. Earth they nerves like militias in the booth. Spit that word like the wisdom nigga too. Get that herb like I need a blunt or two. Fuck y'all all, each and every one of you. You niggas wanna face me? Fuck you motherfuckers too. All you niggas ain't loyal. Fuck the government soil. Bring heat to the planet to this motherfucker boil. There's no more talk. Through the grave y'all walk. I talk for the slaves from the grave.